Welcome to the Fit Dad Nation podcast, forging strong fathers and raising a stronger generation. It's time to get up or shut up with your host, Steve Roy.
Hey guys, this is Steve Roy, host of the Fit Dad Nation podcast. Welcome to the show. Thank you for listening. So before we get into the episode today, I just want to invite all you dads who are listening right now, if you're looking for a tribe, if you're looking for a place to connect with like-minded men, and this is especially important in times like this when we're quarantined and we're away from our friends and family and loved ones, we need that social interaction. And so we've got a couple of groups, one of which is called the Fit Dad Base Camp. It's our free private Facebook community, and you can apply to join us at fitdadnation.com/community. So today, I want to talk about eating while quarantined. So last week, my show was all about the struggles that we're facing, including myself. I'm really facing a lot of struggles personally, from a fitness standpoint, business-wise, mindset, and a couple other things. And one point that I made was don't beat yourself up too much as far as your habits, eating, exercise, because just our lives have been turned upside down. But today, I want to just shift gears a little bit and talk more about the diet piece, because, this is, after all, as tough as this is for so many of us, it's not an excuse to just be lazy and let our entire lifestyles go to hell. Some people are doing that. So I'm trying to really help you guys avoid that. Like if you're in a rut, if you're feeling like super demotivated, it's time to kind of regroup and refocus. So, with that said, I don't feel like you need to go to the extremes with your diet. You don't have to be super clean. You don't have to really watch every calorie. I think you're going to drive yourself crazy. And given the fact that a lot of us are relying on packaged foods and bulk foods that we purchased and stocked up on, like we're, preparing for the apocalypse, we have what we have in our house, right? Most of us aren't going out buying fresh foods every day, even every week. Some of us, including me, I haven't even been to a store in weeks. I mean, maybe 3-4 weeks. I haven't been to a grocery store. So I want to give you a couple suggestions on how to at least help yourself through this period, because it is tough, because if you start going down that road of eating shitty foods, getting used to processed carbs, packaged foods, sugary foods, refined sugars, and foods that our body craves, like once we start eating that junk, those sugary, crappy foods that suck us in, right, and get us addicted, it's hard to get off. So this could be another month. This could be another 3 months. It could be 6 months. We don't know how long this is going to last, and we don't want to just let our bodies go to shit, right? We'll just do the best you can with what you've got. I've said that before, and I believe that. But here's some ideas that I'm starting to incorporate, because like I said, I'm struggling with my diet. I really am. We've bought a lot of packaged foods, a lot of bulk stuff. There's a whole pantry full of chips and crackers, Triscuits, Pop-Tarts, pasta, like all that heavy stuff, the stuff that I normally talk about, stay away from, use your head. I'm finding that I'm eating more of that. So I'm having to reel myself in now, because honestly, I feel like shit. I really do, because I've gotten away from a super clean, primal approach to eating, which is, mostly lean meats, eggs, nuts and seeds and fruits and vegetables, that kind of stuff, and into more refined and packaged foods and junk. So this is the stuff that I've started to implement, and this is the stuff that you can start to implement that will help you start to clean up your diet. And again, don't strive for perfection. That's just, you're setting yourself up for a failure. Instead, just start working on a few things here and there, and you'll notice a big difference in your energy. So the first thing that I notice is energy. So once your body starts getting used to eating more junk foods, you're going to notice, you're going to wake up one day and be like, damn, I'm tired. I just feel listless and run down, and I'm not motivated. I just want to do nothing. And that's what that kind of food does to you. So here's some ideas. So first thing, start a food journal. So just literally write it down. So if you go into the pantry and you have a big container of mac and cheese, you have a bunch of chips and salsa, you have a Coke with it. Write that shit down, and you're going to be staring at it. When you write it down, you're going to have to go back and look at it. And that sometimes is enough to be like, you know what? Look at this. Look at all this shit that I'm writing down. Look at all this terrible food. Because it's easy to forget, right? Like you just kind of move through the day, and in all honesty, the days are kind of blending together. And so it's easy to forget, oh man, I had all that shitty food yesterday. Because I've seen it time and time again in the past. I'll ask somebody, hey, how's your diet? And I almost always get, I know it's pretty good. And they're not really thinking about, okay, I ate all of those shitty things last week and yesterday, because it's so easy to kind of block that out. So when you're writing it down, it's right there in your face, and your wife can see it, your kids can see it, and that's eye-opening. So that's number one. Write it down, physically write it down. You don't have to type it into your computer where you can hide it. Put it on a piece of paper. Put it somewhere in a space where your family can see it. Okay. Number two, I would tell you, drink a lot of water, and this is a no-brainer here, but a lot of people aren't. It's just not only is it super healthy and essential for fat loss and everything, there's all the processes in your body, but it's a great filler, right? A lot of us are eating not out of hunger, out of boredom, but you're not going to have that sensation necessarily of being hungry if you're full with water. Okay, I'm not saying you need to drink a ton. Start with about half a gallon, 64 ounces. You can work your way up to, and this is something that I teach, drink your weight in ounces in water. So that's a good idea to start. So start with a half a gallon, and then kind of work your way up from there. But that's just a great way to kind of fill your stomach and hopefully help you avoid some of that mindless eating, because that's really what it is at this point, right? A lot of it, myself included, mindless eating is rampant. I mean, I'm in the house all day aside from me going out doing a hike or a walk or an exercise video or whatever, but I'm in the house on the computer a lot, and there's a lot of junky food in this house staring at me. And I'll find myself walking upstairs, going to do something, and next thing you know, I'm not even hungry, but I'm walking into the pantry, grabbing a handful of crackers or chips, and that shit does add up. You might think, oh, it's only 50 calories, it's only 100 calories. Believe me, that adds up quick, and it could be 400, 500, 600 calories, which could easily put you into a calorie surplus, making any kind of weight loss impossible. All right, and I will say this too, and I've preached this before on social media and some of my programs is, I know that a lot of us, like men, we probably a lot of us aren't doing the shopping. Maybe a lot of our wives are doing the shopping, and some of this is out of our control. Some of it's obviously not. But if it's not in your house, you can't eat it. And I get that we all have kids. Kids like cereals and breakfast bars and junk food. I get it. I'm not saying just wipe it out completely, but at the end of the day, if it's not in your house, you can't eat it. So, make it a point and talk to your spouse to keep those things that are your triggers, that are your weaknesses. For me, Red Vine's licorice. There's this candy that I really like. I'm a big sucker for Pop-Tarts, Dr. Pepper, like stuff like that. If that's in the house, sometimes that's going to win, and I don't want it to win. So that's on me to be strong enough to say no. But if it's not there, I'm definitely not going to the store to buy something like that. So you just can't eat it, and you just get to make a better decision. And this is a great time to practice intermittent fasting. I love intermittent fasting. I think it's a phenomenal tool for weight loss. But more importantly, I think it's a phenomenal tool to really get you mindful about what you're eating and why. Incredibly important. So do some research. I've got some resources on fitdeadnation.com about it. We've done challenges in the past. We do some of them in our private inner circle program. We do challenges with fasting, and it's actually one of my favorite tools to use because it's a no-brainer. You're not buying anything. You're basically abstaining from food for a certain amount of time, and that's it. So look into fasting and look at how you can use this to your benefit during this period. I'm going to avoid the obvious stuff like, staying away from sweetened drinks, sweetened iced tea, soda, stuff like that, like alcohol even, right? Like those are empty calories, junky calories, nothing really going to help you in any of that stuff. So, if you can kind of put that aside, and I'll tell you, booze, a lot of men drink beer, have a drink, a couple drinks, and I know some friends of mine that are drinking probably more now because they just have a lot more time and they end up, drinking throughout the day. Again, do your best. Luckily for me, I'm not a drinker, but great idea to just kind of put that to the side for the time being, maybe near the occasional beer, but I found something that really helps. There's a couple things that will probably really help you. Schedule your meals. All right, so if you just allow yourself access to your whole house, all your foods, all day, every day, you probably are going to struggle. So instead, pick certain times and have a meal schedule. Try to avoid snacking. Okay, I'm a big snacker. Try to avoid that. So you're going to have a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner, and really try to stick to that. Okay, and that may help. And what you can even do is prepackage some foods. Like if you know that you really, really want some pretzels or some chips or whatever, or something that is not great for you, put it in a small baggie instead of taking out the whole bag that is 20 servings worth, putting it on the table and just eating it freely. Right, you're going to end up eating too much. Put it into a small Ziploc bag, put it aside, put it with your lunch, and have that. Okay, that's one way to do it, okay? I like the idea of buddying up, finding a partner, finding a friend, finding somebody that, even your spouse that you can be accountable with. And this is actually a perfect opportunity to do that because most people are home. So you can Skype them, you can FaceTime them, whatever, and you can do challenges, something to hold each other accountable. I think it's a great idea. And along those lines, joining a group like the Fit Dad Base Camp or like our Fit Dad Nation Inner Circle, group of your people. Find your people, find your tribe, whatever that looks like. Really important to get engaged, get involved in this time. I can't stress that enough, okay? Another idea for you here is download MyFitnessPal and start logging your calories, okay? I've talked about this before. I have some resources on the site about this. I actually have a whole guide on how to do it. But this is a great tool to really see what you're eating along the lines of your food journal. Yeah, start tracking everything that you eat, and you'll see at the end of the day, you're like, holy shit, I can't believe I ate 3,200 calories and most of it was crap. Okay, that's very eye-opening. It can be very powerful and can help you just kind of change things up. So I've used it for years. I've used it with my clients. Great tool. And just remember, we're leading by example, guys. Our kids are home from school. We're around them a lot more probably right now. They're watching us. They're watching us sit on our asses. They're watching us eat the foods that we've told them before that are not good for us, okay? It's on us, and I'm not judging anybody because I'm guilty of this too, but it's on us. We have to do better. And just, keep that in mind when you go to reach for that, junk food that's sitting in your pantry calling your name. Just remember, your kids are watching. They're going to learn from that. They may remember something like that. Or they may remember, hey, remember 20 years ago when we had that crazy pandemic that everybody was, stuck at home? I just remember my dad. He was always really, careful about what he was eating. He was exercising a lot. He was just being super healthy when everybody else was pigging out. Important stuff. And along those lines, take this time to bond with your kids. And one great way to do this is cook with them. Teach them how to cook if they don't know already, especially if they're a little bit younger. Get involved, right? Make it fun. Research recipes together. They're going to love it. It doesn't have to be something like a cake or cookies or something like that. Make a good dinner. Make something healthy. Right? They'll learn that. They may take that. I remember recipes that I learned 20, 30 years ago. Very simple recipes that are healthy. I just remember that because of either something my mother taught me or my father taught me. So super important, guys. But, anyway, these are just some ideas. I don't know how many that was, maybe 10 ideas or so, just to kind of get things rolling for you. Again, do not beat yourself up if you're struggling, if you feel like your health is spiraling out of control, your diet is going down the toilet, okay? A lot of us are there. But there are some things that you can do to change that, okay? And like I said, honestly, I feel like my health has started to slip significantly since all this happened. And now, I've started to reel it back in, and I've already noticed a difference in how I feel in my my thought process, my mental strength, my motivation, even with everything, with my motivation to exercise, my motivation to do stuff from a business standpoint. So everything is going to be tied back into our health. Specifically, the diet is going to control a lot of that. So hope this helps, guys. Really take care, stay safe, and we will talk to you next week.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, if you want more information, check out the Fit Dad Basecamp group on Facebook. And don't forget to stop by fitdadnation.com. Until next time, keep kicking ass and taking the next step. You can do this, Dad.